海賊王になる男だ。
What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track, who rapping it back, and we are back with Strash Sit Down episode 173. Yes, sir, yes, sir. I'm here with the gang as usual. I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna try and blitz through these intros because this chapter is fucking insane and we need to get to it immediately. So,
yes,
Mr. G in the building, my brother. What's going on?
What's good, y'all? Quick shout out to my coworker, Brian Wagner. He passed away on Friday.
Damn. Condolences, man.
Yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to him because he was a good dude, but always bringing positive energy to work. So that's important.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, thank you for your friendship and rest in peace, brother.
Rest in peace, rest in peace.
Yes,
All right, Stray Hat Ma in the building. What's going on, my brother?
What's good? I got something even better for you. Let's just go. I don't got nothing much to say. Let's just go.
Skip me, bro. I'm just Come on.
All right, the gang's on here. As you can see, we are fiending to get into this chapter. This is by far chapter of the year. We were having a discussion if this is one of the top chapters of all time because this one was fucking crazy. I'm sure we all reacted crazy getting through it. Yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Chapter 1159, The Island of Fate. I don't even want to talk about the cover story because, they're just walking. They're literally just walking. Eating apples.
The only thing I will say is it is still continuing because we thought it was going to end, but
I really thought bro was about to come with some crazy fact about the cover story or some shit.
I said the only thing, it was minuscule. It's just we were talking about whether that was the ending or not because that looked kind of endish,
right?
But clearly,
there's nothing here though, right? In this specific cover story, they're literally just
no. It's definitely and even the apple thing is because the place they're in is called Ringo. It's they're definitely and it's what apple means in Japanese. They're definitely okay, we had our time in Ringo. We saw Moya's grave. Let's get out of here. Go to the next thing. And it seems like they're returning to the Fire Capital. It's definitely let's move on.
Transitional thing.
I would say it also shows that they're eating apples. Remember, they were afraid of eating fruits for the whole thing of Wano eating the devil fruit. So that's
nice catch.
Nice symbolism right there. Yeah.
Nice catch. W Wano. All right, let's get the fuck out of Wano now. we got places to go. We gotta go to Pirate Island 39 years ago, where the chapter starts. The entire island is in an uproar, and we see one of the pirates asking they're looking for something. We see the pirates looking for something. We see that the security team has all been killed. And one of the pirates asked, so even Don Merlon couldn't even keep her safe. It's unthinkable who could have done this. And we're basically seeing on this first page everybody reacting to the kidnapping, disappearance of Shaggy. Shaggy has been kidnapped from the bar. What happened?
No, Shaggy, no.
Yeah, truly unfortunate. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I would have been a one-man army if I was on Pirate Island, bro. I'd have left immediately to find whoever did this shit. But yeah, everybody's in an uproar. They say the narrator says the crime happened within a window of just a few hours, but without any clues to solve the mystery, the pirates could only wail and gnash their teeth in anger. And we basically see reactions of all the pirates sobbing and being upset, except for this guy. I don't know what's his deal. Yo, this is the triple chin nigga. I just don't remember his name ever.
Wang Chi.
Why is he smiling about that?
Because he's the one.
He's counting money.
Oh, did he? Is he an informant?
Yeah, dude. He's the one. Yeah, he's the one that fucking got them there.
Oh, he's a bitch.
Yeah, dude.
What's funny?
He's been showing that too, trying to get them killed earlier.
Yeah, you're right. A few chapters ago, he didn't care about the Kaido and Whitebeard when they got left behind.
Yeah, so.
If we thought about it too, he's the only guy that came up from Rock's dying. He from God Valley to Time Skip. He was
Pirate Island, right? Yeah.
So the clues were there a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. The fucking what's the incident again with Kobe and Blackbeard? Rocky Port incident. Oh my, that shit just has so much more depth now, bro.
Is it called Rocky Port in like respect of rocks, and then that incident is how he got eliminated? It's quite interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, we see all the characters reacting to Shaggy's disappearance. We see Roger ripped into his paper in half and scream, curse out on rocks. We see them talk about how the news crosses the seas, and they say that smiles vanish from the faces of all the crestfallen people. I don't know what's crestfallen. What does that mean?
The whole world,
sad,
just everyone. Just
okay. Yeah. Okay, crestfallen is like sad. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was said that all economic activity around the world went stagnant for weeks. That is absolutely fucking insane, bro.
Bro, it's like in the Spanish community when Selena got murdered, that kind of happened in a way.
No, that's real.
I could definitely.
Celebrity culture is real, 100%. Losing a bad bitch is tough. I feel them, man. I feel them. All right, time skip. Boom. We move on to God Valley 1 year later, where we see Figarland Garling, right? Sure. Yeah.
Yep, we got it.
Meet up with his baby mother, the mother of his children. She's like, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I always knew you'd come back." She's like, "Hey, kids, it's your dad." And she shows him how they had twins. And she's like, "Now you can live here with me." And he's like, "Oh, if they're living anywhere, it's not here. This island's gonna be going soon." She's like, "Huh?" And then he's like, "And I've already ordered a wife." She's like, "Huh?" And then he's like, "All I gotta do is win this competition." And she's like, "Huh?" And then she gets stabbed in the face and dies. Or not dies, but she gets stabbed in the face. Or in the gut. She gets stabbed. Absolutely brutal scene. My jaw was agape when I flip pages here. I can't lie to you. Like,
yeah,
I didn't expect it.
Oh my goodness!
And it's like it's not out of character, so I'm not surprised. I just didn't expect it in this moment necessarily. You know what I mean? Especially with the way he was just so casual and smiling, talking to her. Like, this nigga is a psychopath.
Like, so funny enough, when I first saw that, like, okay, she's just on the mother of Shamrock and Shanks is on God Valley and just casually there. She's not, wearing like no celestial outfits or nothing. So I'm like, okay, so she's a regular person here. So Shamrock, not Shamrock, but Figarland basically slept with, a regular person. And I'm thinking, is she special? Is she not special? But he was like, whatever. Then like Oda hits us with the whammy of him coming, and he's just like you said, Callie, all casual. So I think like, oh, so maybe he does care.
Yeah.
But then I'm reading and he's like, yeah, I got a wife already who's fitted on me. And then she's like, what? And then just boom. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. That is Oda, stop upping the ante with how evil these people are. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, no, that shit absolutely fucking floored me. I can't lie. I was not ready for it. Reason number 152 to hate for Garling. I can't lie.
This guy has to die, bro.
Yeah, no, this is one of those terrible people for sure.
This is one of the developments that I was like, bro, like just thinking about it on paper, bro. Like, but Garling killed Shanks' mom.
Yeah.
Like this ridiculous and yeah, the sociopath nature of it was really crazy to me. Like he's just like he's talking to her like it's not even disdainful. That's the craziest part. Like he's not killing her because he fucking hates her. I mean, obviously he does not like respect humans and thinks they're ants or whatever. But it's not like out of like a sense of like revenge. It's just you gotta go.
It's not a crime out of passion. It's impassioned as hell.
Yeah.
It's unsettling, man.
I remember last week we were like some of us were like, oh, like did he just like do the art to her? Like, no, but like the way that she was acting, I was like, I think he was just nonchalant. Like he was just like visiting.
I'm confused.
Because
I think he was saying, was it non-consensual?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, the way she was acting, I wouldn't have assumed that because she was like, when we first met her, she was like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for their dad to get back," or like, she didn't say that. But she didn't talk about the father in a negative light when they first introduced him.
Yeah, so that definitely. So like, it seemed like he was just like there.
Bro
You
was
know what I
just
mean? Like
bored.
just chilling. Yeah,
So
yeah,
some
exactly. Just
local,
bored out.
some local
You know, I
snatch.
just and just trying to have a good time. And he's like, oh yeah, we got kids. All right, cool. You know, and thank you, and then took care of it. Like
Yeah,
that's
this guy
crazy.
gotta go, man. Does this give some more precedence to the Roger Shanks conversation we know that they have before they go to the laugh tail?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, this would be a possible thing. Hey, your dad killed your mom, by the way.
That and your celestial, half celestial dragon, or you know.
Would Shanks go back to Marijois if he knew his dad killed his mom?
Maybe it was for some good old fashioned revenge. Shanks doesn't seem like
Maybe.
that type of guy, though. He doesn't.
Or
I'm thinking
some
about it.
info or
He doesn't really
something.
seem like that.
Definitely for a reason, though. He was there. Like,
Yeah.
We're not talking about.
yeah,
We're talking about. We're not talking about the moment where what am I trying to say? We're not talking about the moment where Shanks / Evil Shanks goes up to the gore and say like I want to talk about a certain pirate, right?
No, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm
You're talking about the moment that
tattoo.
yeah, okay, wait,
yeah,
yeah,
it's like he had to have gone back at some point because even Shamrock said that, right? When we
yeah,
first
that's
met
what
him,
I'm
he's
thinking
like,
of. Shamrock mentioned that Shanks went back to the Holy Land at one point. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
actually, randomly, I was talking about this chapter at Locals on Friday, and we were just talking about Shanks and this exact kind of topic conversation. And I looked at the wiki, and there's a period of time he started the Red Hair Pirates. He found Yasop 22 years ago, and he was at Roger's execution 24 years ago. So there's a 2-year period where we have no idea what he. So I think it's that time where he was a Gosling. It's just a random history tidbit I realized. It's got to be that time between
Probably
like when he was like 13 and 15, something like that.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, him finding out and then definitely going back there, or somewhat going back there, maybe just to get answers or something like that, and then choosing not to be involved in that lifestyle. I honestly don't know if the moment that Roger told him was that moment that we saw of him crying, just because I don't think they needed to go to Laugh-Tell to figure that out. I mean, we're going to see when we see this God Valley incident, but most likely, Roger and them, they probably saw, all the prizes that were being put up by all the different celestial dragons and world government and stuff. And if Shanks was in one of those chests, then you could put 2 and 2 together and be like, you probably belong to a celestial dragon or something like that.
That's fair. All right, yeah. So this guy's a dick, kills baby moms, says begin the preparations, and we see soldiers begin to flood the streets of God Valley. We see the citizens confused at first as they start getting ushered, pushed into wherever they're getting moved to. They notice that they have the whole island surrounded. They're trying to figure out if there's a criminal or something on the island, and they get all the kids indoors. Meanwhile, the soldiers are saying to only use tranquilizer rounds and apprehend those who do not resist. We then see a soldier. I'm not gonna lie, I immediately knew who this was as soon as I saw this panel. Like, I don't know, like if y'all peeked before the nameplate drop.
My boy tell me like in the middle of the first page, he's like, "Is that Dragon?" And I was like at the bottom, I'm like, "Is it?"
Oh shit!
I saw the armband or tattoo thing. I was like, "Oh, it is him."
Yeah, I saw his hair in that top left panel. I was like, "Yeah, no way, that's got to be Dragon." But yeah, he asks, "What is the purpose of this operation?" The lieutenant is like, "Don't worry about it. Do what you're told." He continues to try and ask, and then the commander asks the platoon leader, "What's going on with this kid Dragon?" Who then says he'll give Dragon a talking to. And this is when shit starts to hit the fan. We see citizens start getting pushed away, mothers and children's getting ushered together. The citizens start to run, and yeah, it's starting to become complete chaos. Yep. Dragon is continuing to question the orders of the Marines here. He said they look like normal civilians to me. The Marines is like, "Shut up, maggot. That was a little flair. I ain't gonna lie. He didn't say all that. He didn't say all that.
You went TCB mode.
Yeah, I went TCB on other little flowery language in there. You know what I mean? But yeah, he basically tells Dragon you need to stop thinking, and that individual thoughts will only distract you, and can focus on completing the mission. So Dragon starts to kind of psych himself up. Says that they're tranquilizer rounds, and he's really not hurting anybody. And he says, "I'm sorry if you allow us to arrest you, I won't have to shoot you," to some of the citizens who completely ignore him and try to get out the way, but he ends up having to shoot them. This is when we get the name drop that this is Monkey D. Dragon, a Navy sailor, back when he was a Navy sailor, so this is his Navy days. And we get the little future Revolutionary Army commander and father of Luffy, regular nameplate. We see them starting to use tear gas, and the soldiers are told to put their masks on, and we get one last shot of Dragon before we move on in the chapter. So Dragon was on God's Valley as a base Navy grunt.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. This could possibly be the moment that he realizes he doesn't like their justice.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no doubt that this was the event that caused Dragon to be Dragon that we know today. Like,
it's kind of funny because
without a doubt.
You know who asked him? And you know how he even revealed he was a Marine? Kuma asked him, and he tells Kuma, "I found no justice there," and he's talking about an event that Kuma was at.
Yeah, they were both there. That's crazy, and they didn't even.
Ivankov is there too. Ginny's there too. Like, they're all there, and it seems like with this Dragon thing, like, who else might be here? How crazy is God Valley? Like, it's even crazier than we, even thought of it was before.
Yeah, seriously. So I feel like we're gonna get even more. Like, we don't know. So we don't know who else is like on this island at this point. Like, it feels like this event is almost as like big as like Roger's execution, and then like Marine Ford. Like, we get all these characters.
Yeah, it's like the big
one event,
historical event. Like kind of like a World of War for One Piece in a way, you would say.
Definitely, just at a different time period.
Yeah, and that shit. Everyone, like, we weren't expecting Harold to pop up, and he popped up last chapter before Rocks, right? And then was it this chapter?
It's definitely this chapter.
This one,
Hashtag spoilers. Yeah.
Man, you do this shit all the time, Laz. I don't want to hear from you. But like,
yeah, insane Trey. Yeah.
No, it's just these crazy how everyone's connected just from this one event without even noticing, and like we as the readers get to see that and be like, oh shit, like. So.
Yeah, it's definitely getting crazy. Awesome. It's definitely getting crazy.
Especially Dragon. We've been literally like, it's like a running joke on this pod. Like, what has this guy done? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Callie's been waiting.
Yeah. This isn't enough for me, by the way. But it's cool seeing him.
This isn't what he's talking about.
This is absolutely not what I'm talking about at all. But it is nice seeing him here, though. It's really cute for sure. No, yeah, there wasn't too much. Seeing him here is cool. I honestly doubt he has that much of a presence in the events that happen. I do just think, like we said, it's just him witnessing what goes on here. Probably starts his revolutionary spark, if anything. But yeah, I think
the end of the chapter disagrees with you.
Well, I guess you're right, because I did forget about that last panel. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. We switch to a Navy prison ship carrying slaves. We see the communications room where one of the Marine soldiers is patrolling and thinks he hears something, but I guess doesn't see what's going on. We see a pair of legs messing with stuff in this communications room. And then the next panel, we find out that it's Ginny. This is Ginny doing the intel release that she said she did back in Egghead when we went through the Kuma flashback. How she said she leaked the intel of the prizes of God Valley to different pirates or whatever, different groups. So this is the act of her actually doing it. We see some of the older slaves telling the kids to be quiet and to not get everybody else in trouble. And Ivankov sets them straight. She's like, you fool. You don't try to learn where the ship is going. If you don't even struggle, what makes you think you'll be lucky enough to make it out? Don't play games with miracles. Yeah, boy, Ivankov holding it down. And we see a nice little shot of Kuma too. Says, I don't know slaves could be so feisty, just being his chill, calm self. And then we switch to the Cypher Pole Intelligence Agency, where we get a shot of a young Big News Morgans, although I guess he might have just been Morgans here, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah. We see him talking about an intel that he's picked up, and we see some Cypher Pole agents pressing him about some intel that he's picked up. He said that the agents say that they know that he's picked it up. And Morgans is like, pay me if you want me not to leak this, to sit on the scoop, you gotta pay me. The agents are like, how does this kid get all these freaking stories, etc., etc.? And Morgans is like, it is what it is, know what I mean? And he also says he's leaking it to Pirate Island as well, so he's basically scamming them. This guy Morgans is, I feel like this guy is the most hidden boss character in this entire story, bro.
Yes. Absolutely.
Back to Pirate Island. This is after, I'm assuming this is after Morgans has leaked the news to Pirate Island. They find out that Shacky's still alive. We see a whole bunch of relief. And then we see, okay, so now this panel makes more sense to me, because I didn't understand why he was making this face on my first read through, but now that I understand that he was the one that most likely ratted them out, he is looking like nervous a little bit, like that seems fishy. You sure about the source? Like, because if they find out, he's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they find out, one of them confirms, I think that's, who's that in the back that says it with the hat? Oh my god, her name is escaping me.
Stussy.
Stussy, I gotta believe in yourself, man. I say it all the time. I was gonna say Stussy too. Stussy says the Navy's been taking action, so the source seems solid. They find out she's a prize in the Celestial Dragons game. So, and they also realize that whoever kidnapped her had to be government. Whitebeard says, or confirms, that it's the Celestial Dragons manhunt, and that he always assumed it was just a legend. We see Big Mom and Kaido have a conversation about the devil fruits they might have, and how Kaido, wants a devil fruit, which we see, he ends up getting one later. One of them asks, are you sure it's not a trap? And Rox is like, shut up. If you're not committed, stay here. The rest of us, we're going to God Valley. We cut to the Roger Pirates, who also get the same information. They find out, they check how far it is. They realize they'll make it in time. And their crew is now on the move as well. And then we see Garp, realizing Roger going, also head out to God's Valley. And with this intel leak, we see all the fiercest warriors of the sea join at this one location. And we then come back to Rock's pirate crew, because as he's sailing to God's Valley, he runs into, lo and behold, King Harold. So this was actually a big contention point we had with the chapter last week. When exactly is Harold going to meet Rock? Is he going to be at God Valley, etc., etc.? And I think Oda handled it pretty well here. He intercepted the ship. He knew that because the Rock's pirates were obsessed with Shacky, he would be able to use that intel to intercept the ship and sink them. And then he shows that they also have government surveillance ship in the distance to record the events that happen here. So Rox puts two and two together and realizes that Harold still wants to kill him to gain that spot for Elbaf. And they have their regular back and forth. He calls him a government dog. Does it please you to serve the government? It's the same argument they had the last time they spoke, more or less.
I think this is a really poignant one, though. I think this one is like him putting it all into like a pretty succinct, it's like the end phrase of an SAU, right? He kind of gives him a read in some people put it. You know what I mean? That's fair. Yeah. So they have their discussion, but then Rox asks if they can talk in private for a moment, and they end up sharing sake. Rox goes on to talk and lets Harold know, or he says to Harold that he knows Harold probably knows where he's going and why, but he then says, this next part I'm only going to tell you, Harold, not even my crew. And we see both the crews kind of brooding over this conversation, how they both have objectives they need to get to, and they shouldn't be having this conversation here.
And this is when Rocks drops the first bombshell of the chapter. He says, the truth is, I've got a hidden name. Davy D. Xebec. Absolutely insane drop. He says it's the name of a clan that I suspect the world government has long tried to cover up. The descendants of the legendary pirate Davy D. Jones. We took root in the criminal underworld and continue to eke out a living even today. Should I just keep going, or y'all want to stop real quick?
We could talk about it. Well, actually, you should keep going. Yeah, keep going,
we should get to the end of the Rocks Herald interaction. Then we can talk about everything.
Yeah.
So then he continues. He says, the timing was either great or terrible, but I had a kid 2 years ago. And to make sure the danger couldn't befall them both, I sent my wife and children to my homeland and told them to seek the Davy clan for help. And Harold's like, okay, so your children are at the wife and child at the home. Why are you giving me this weakness? He says, my home is God Valley.
Boom.
Holy fucking shit, my mouth dropped. I'll finish this up. I'll finish it, but holy fucking shit, my mouth dropped here.
Yeah.
So he continues. The government did this as a means to lure you into their clutches, and Rocks it says no, they didn't know, they would not want Rocks coming there, and that it was a miscalculation on their part, and it feels as if it's a great act of fate pulling all the strings behind the scenes. And he says kidnapping Shaggy was their fatal mistake. As long as my wife and kid escape, I don't care about the rest. Whoever side fortune is on, it doesn't feel like mine, so lend me your aid. Rocks tries to get Harold on his side one last time. Harold says, I refuse. I'd rather sink your ship right now. And then Rocks says, if that's your choice, so be it. And then we get a little flash forward where Harold says, don't attack him. And then we see an explosion on Harold's ship. And then we come back to God's Valley where they talk about the manhunt that's happening. But we can cut to that at the next page. So insane bombshells here. Rocks is not Rocks, he's Davy. Blackbeard was indeed born on God Valley. We've been talking about this for God knows how goddamn long.
I know.
I don't know how long we've been trying to figure this shit out, but we finally have the confirmation. Blackbeard was born on God's Valley, the same as Shanks. I think same year, actually, the same age.
No, he wasn't born there. He was sent there.
No, you're right. You're right. Pardon me. Yeah, I misread. You're absolutely right.
He's a year older than Shanks.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I misspoke. My apologies.
Yeah,
you're
but
right.
still the same. It's basically all
more or less because
Valley.
Yeah.
And 38 years ago, when it matters.
Yo, this was an insane reveal. The fact that that Davy Jones is not. We all speculated that Davy Jones would be like a legendary figure, right? But I don't think any of us expected how prominent he would be in terms of being critical to the story, because this takes it to the next level. This takes them from like a urban legend type thing, or like some type of like legendary figure from the past, mythical figure, to like kind of like a Joy Boy-esque important character. Because Joy Boy for a while we didn't know how important it's necessarily how important he was to the story. We knew he was important. We didn't know like the magnitude of everything up until like we figured more things out in the story and stuff like that. And now with Davy Jones being confirmed to be a D clan member, that's
Davy
got
D
plans for him.
Jones. Yeah, no, this guy is definitely going to be influential to the story insanely. So Blackbeard is also Davy then, right? He would be Davy D Teach.
Davy D Teach.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. And technically, because he said that his people were on God Valley. Shanks and Shamrock's mom,
might have also been a Davy. And
could have also been a Davy.
Especially the official, I think, makes it more like concrete that might be the case. It says, I sent my wife and child to my homeland and told them to seek the Davy clan for help. So it seems like they're not the only Davies on God Valley, and it makes sense that because you have to wonder like why last chapter did the people of God Valley refuse to become affiliated with the world government? Who are these people, right?
Right.
And it seems like it's not just them two. It's not just his wife and kid. It's definitely might be a lot more people.
There's more
that
people
are
on
the
there,
Davy
definitely.
clan. Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to say that on the okay, I just want to continue, Bod.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say on the Davy Jones thing. When Rox sees Emu, and he's like, and in his head, and the narrator box is like, he's like a Davy Jones worshiper or follower. In the same panel, he's looking at Emu. To me, I knew like, okay, Davy Jones is gonna be something huge because you don't see Emu and think something to do with Davy Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got something huge, you know. And I think I'll have more to say about Davy Jones at the end of the chapter. But this is such a crazy fucking what the fuck's going on, man?
Right, bro.
This shit adds so much. I'm sorry, man. This shit adds so much extra to that scene. And no, I'm thinking of a specific scene in Egghead when Saturn and what's her name, the nine to Karina Devon, and they talk about Blackbeard's lineage. Yeah, it's actually fucking insane. I'm sorry, Mar. Go ahead, man.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. And also I want to say, I want to ask y'all, do y'all think that this was what Garland was talking about when
yeah, I think so.
This makes more sense when he said he found something.
Yeah.
This makes a lot more sense as like a resource that they could utilize or whatever.
And it's why Emu would be happy about it because he fucking cries sleep, and I think Davy still exists, right? Like
not cry sleep.
This is what it is. You saw how he shook a Joy Boy when he's scared of this, and he wants. And for Garland's like, yeah, we can eradicate all these people in one go, and Emu would be happy about that.
Yeah. I definitely think that that's what he was talking to Saint Saturn about.
Yeah,
all those years ago.
I think 100%. That's why like this guy Garland is he's calculated, bro. He's like, I found something interesting. Let's wait for 2 years. I'm gonna have babies over there, you know, just for the fuck of it. Why not? And then let's eradicate them all, you know, and then and then also at the same time, let's steal the pirate's treasure, you know, let's Shaky, and then let's try to make her my wife. Like that. This dude is he's a menace, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, I just gotta say, by the way, y'all, I'm completely 180'd on my position with Rox. Like, this dude is too cool, like too good.
He's the greatest.
Okay, he's a real one. So we find out here that Rox really is going to God Valley, not for Shaky, but because his wife and child are on God Valley. And he says here, as long as my wife and kid escape, I don't care about the rest. And he even says he realizes that he thinks his time is coming short here, and this is probably his last hurrah. And he's still going because he wants to make sure his family's safe. Like, this guy Rox has 100% done a completely 180 from when we were first introduced. He hasn't done a 180, but our perspective on him has 100% changed after getting a wider scope of things, for sure.
I'm just saying, one of us in this pod was saying that this shit seemed personal for Rox. Me. Right, when we saw that panel when Rox and Roger first got together, and like Rox is like, get out of my way, Roger, and Roger's like, wait, and I kept saying this shit seemed personal, right? That's what the Whitebeard was saying, like, oh, I hope Rox knows that we're here for the real reason was Shaky, to save Shaky,
right.
But for Rox, that was never the case. It was to always save his family.
Right.
You know, so I'm just saying that.
Nah, you was locked in, bro.
I was locked in, bro. I got that shit, bro.
You definitely locked in. And I gotta say, like, he's turned out to be not the character I thought he would be, like, whatsoever. Like, I thought, so with Rock's introduction, and I know the world government, and mind you, I know the world government be like exaggerating or be saying some bullshit about certain characters and stuff. But I always thought there had to be something crazy about Rox for them to not put him in the history books, to not let let his greatness shine. But like, not really. Like, this dude was more than all right. Actually, I was gonna say all right. He was more than all right. This dude, not only in the time when like Harold is still being a rat, still being a weasel about the situation and doing what he's doing to sink him to get in good graces with the celestial dragons and world government at large. But Rox is just so like, he's like, oh, still being a rat, huh? Okay. Hey, talk to me for a second. Let's have a drink real quick. I'm like, yo, hey, he's one of them ones. Like, for real.
That's why I thought that panel was so poignant, Callie. If you want to go back one, I thought like the panel where first off, it's the bottom right where even though Shiki is probably the second or third strongest on Rox's crew, Oda focuses on the 4 emperors because obviously like that's what's gonna be the talking point about Rox's crew, and how like, bro, this crew, to be honest, I mean, not even on some power skill and shit, but this is what Rox is saying, like yo, you think you haven't made? Look, we could fuck you up right here, bro. We not some scrubs, right? But despite that, man, let's talk and figure it out. I thought that was really, really poignant. And I think what makes it even better is that Harold and Rox, man, such fucking amazing foils to each other. And we see it here, like, this is the only person Rox told, like, his really deepest secrets to. He didn't even tell it to his crew. And we've talked about how his crew is, like, kind of, they don't work together very well. They're going to implode. But it might have been less of, like, friction and more of 1 or 2 rats, to be honest. They seem more cohesive than I thought they were going to be going into it. That's another, misconception that Oda obviously had us have on purpose. But Rox is the embodiment of the lessons Harold needs to learn. That Rox right now is saying, the first thing we saw where Kaido's like, why don't you just make Harold do what you want with force? And he's like, are you fucking crazy? That's my dog. Rox is putting his friendship with Harold above his goal, right? And then when Harold and him, collide and they realize it's not gonna happen, and then now the Rox's family is in danger. Like Callie was saying, I 100% agree with you, Callie. Rox is kind of saying, like, I don't really care if I become king of the world or if I take down Emu, as long as my kid and wife are safe. Like, anything else can happen and I'll be okay with it. He's doing exactly the thing Harold's not doing. He's putting the things that matter above his dreams and goals, which is why he's the perfect person to tell him that, because he really does this shit. So this is this chapter, along with the last one and everything leading into it, is like such a pinnacle of character writing from Oda. This shit is fucking beautiful. But Rox is the GOAT.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I absolutely understand now why Oda has this dynamic set up the way it does. Like it's like you said, it is perfect writing. Like, you have the person that, in a roundabout way, the person that like you're becoming, because at first he was way too far, right to the things of how he thought about humans in general, and then he swung all the way too far left. And then it's like, Rox is that, he's left too, but he's a left that we all agree with. Like, for the most part, that we just like this is who you should be, like, kind of modeling yourself after, low key. Not in every fathom, because I know Harold wants to kind of do things in a certain type of way and all this stuff, but you don't have to be, like, in Rock's terms, a lapdog to, to achieve that. There are different methodologies and different ways to do it. Even if you don't agree with Rock's way, there's still other ways that you could have implemented these things or put up a little bit of a resistance or whatever, not completely roll over. So, I absolutely love this character dynamic and character writing between the two. And this right here between them two is peak Oda writing, like, just straight up. Like,
yeah, no, I agree for sure. All right, let's keep it going, I guess. Definitely still a lot more to go through. Well, not a lot of chapter, but a lot more to talk about in the next 2-3 pages.
But I think one thing we have to ask, like, is did Harold, like, kind of throw this interaction? He's like, you know what, I'm gonna lay down and.
Yeah, I feel like Harold just just didn't do anything here. He just let them. I guess he let them drop a bomb or whatever, or use an attack just so it looks like Rox won and escaped, as opposed to Harold letting him go.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
So yeah, I guess
they were eavesdropping. Just to be clear, was the government eavesdropping on that conversation?
No,
I
don't assume that. Yeah, they were watching from afar to see the results of the battle.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's like, all right, you guys try. You really did try. It's Rox. We'll give you a passing grade.
Right. But yeah, we cut back to God Valley. And the narrator talks about how once in every 3 years, the Celestial Dragons choose an island rich in resources, unaffiliated with the government, and carry out a manhunt game there, slaughtering all of the natives. Yo, is this it? Oh shit. Yeah, I thought there was another page in between this. We cut to the day of the God Valley incident, where we see the baddest bitch alive, Shaki herself, standing on the stage in front of a multitude of Celestials. The announcer says, in addition to the rare and exotic devil fruits, we have our grand prize of the event, hailing from the Isle of Woman, this previous Empress of the Amazons. Her name is Shakuyaku. She's the most beautiful woman in the world, and you can take her for a wife or make her a slave. As long as you win the tournament, that decision is yours. He says he's been kept in pristine condition, and we see all of the celestial dragons fawn over her. She stands very stoic on the stage. We see one of the celestials say that she's perfect and asks Summers to bring her into the Shepherd family. So this has to be one of the Shepherd's celestial dragon families in Summers' family. Summer says, don't be stupid. If I win, she's my slave. And then Figarling says, she's my wife. Stop dreaming, Summers. We get, I don't know who this person with the hat is, but she's with Gunko.
We saw them in 1096. The first time we ever heard the Myanmar family, they were saying, this God's Knight was saying the Myanmar family is going to win. And we know Gunko's last name is Gunko Myanmar from the volume release.
Okay, so this is the Myanmar.
This dialogue makes sense once you know that.
Okay. Well, yeah, Gunko's here with her Myanmar sibling, family, cousin, whatever. We then cut to Dragon, who finds a lady bleeding out, says, please get my children off this island. Don't let him have them. Assumedly this is Shanks and Shamrock's mother, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was mixed. First, I thought it was. I got mixed with the next panel, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Same thing happened to me when I first read it. Yeah, I needed some clarification on that as well.
And then I was like, "Oh shit, yo, is Buggy actually Blackbeard's?" But that wasn't that wasn't the case.
Thank fucking God, bro! Holy shit! Thank God.
No, it's definitely got to be Shanks and Shamrock's mom, who still survived after that attack.
Yeah,
and she's trying to get them saved, and it's crazy that Garp is the one. No, not Garp. Well, Dragon is the one to be the one to save Shanks, which is.
Well, we don't know that happens, but it is a good something. Yeah, no, it's a good hunch to go off of. Yeah. So I guess Dragon will have a little more influence in this arc than previously thought. We do got to see what happens. We do get another panel underneath that of someone telling Teach to come here. It'll be all right. You have to live. They're both shackled and cuffed to chains. And then to end the chapter, we get the end of the announcement. He says, lastly, every world noble is aware of them, but in addition to the Buccaneer boy serving as a super rare rabbit, talking about Kuma, in this contest, we have another target who's been found at long last after 800 years, the Davy clan. End of chapter.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wow. It's getting crazy.
So I'm I just wanted to say, so do you guys remember when we first saw the God Valley incident in terms of the flashback, Kuma's flashback? Remember when they were saying like there were, what was it, 12 or 13 like special specimens on the island or something like that, right?
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that 2 of those 12 or 13 is Kuma, who represents the Buccaneer, and then uh Teach his mom, Teach and whoever else is there
It's
as
part
the
of
part
the
of the
Davy.
Davy clan.
Yeah, yeah.
Meaning that we potentially could be revealed with either 11 or 12 or whatever many more different quote unquote specimens or special people on this God Valley incident, meaning that we might get some reveals of names here that we would have never imagined being here, not only being here, but also representing a special lineage as well, potentially.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
Based on what we said before about the God Valley potentially having more Davies than Blackbeard, could the other rest of them be Davy clan members?
They could be.
It
They
could
could
be a
be.
island of Davy clan members for all we know. Like and they all reciting in God Valley. It's definitely poetic. But yeah, no, shit's absolutely insane.
Also, I also want to point out, like, shocking. They really were serious when they said they kept her in quote unquote pristine condition or whatever. I always pay attention to the state of characters and stuff, especially during fight scenes and stuff. She's not scuffed one bit.
Oh no, no, you definitely can't have that happen.
Like, she's not scuffed. It's like she hasn't been touched. I wonder if she went willingly or not. I'm really wondering. I mean, I know it's been a year, so if they physically hurt her back then, it could have recovered by then. She could have recovered by then, but I wonder if after all that fighting, and maybe they were like up next to grab her or whatever, she just went willingly to not get hurt.
Maybe after
or if she put up a fight. I wonder.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Oh, damn. I really wish.
Well, like you said, it's been a year, right? Like they could have hurt her then, and then she's recovered. Like since.
That's true. And then this also explains Roger's line when we first see him at God Valley. When he's like, "Do you not even wonder how?" Like, something about how he felt for a year because she's been missing. She was taken for a whole year and kidnapped for a whole year and shit like that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely rough. Definitely rough. I'm not really sure if there's much else. You guys got anything?
I have a lot to say.
What we thinking? Talk to me.
I think this chapter. The reason I said this chapter could be one of the craziest chapters ever is that I told this to Miss today. Chapter drop, and I didn't really look at Twitter or anything. But I think either like Oda could be like I could have taken the bait Oda is dropping this chapter, or Oda is actually really giving us a huge thing here when he talks about the Davy clan. I think that it is an interesting coincidence that like look at the last panel of this chapter. We have another target who's been found at long last after 800 years. The Davy clan. If there's a clan that the government have been looking for 800 years that starts with D, we talk about Davy Jones, a legendary pirate, and when he saw Emu, the narrator box brought up that he's a Davy Jones pirate. He knows he can't hurt Emu right now. Is Davy Boy the Will of D?
Oh, Will of D.
Yeah, it's Davy Jones. Joy Boy is the Davy clan, the Will of D, the D clan.
But then why would his name be Davy D. Jones?
Right, I'm about to say his name is Davy D. Jones.
And I think that sounds dumb as hell. It's not going to be Davy Xebec. I agree that sounds stupid as fuck on paper. But what I do think is that the D has morphed. It's supposed to be a hidden code, right? And I've talked about it before. I might have to do a little bit of like a background because I think that shout out to my YouTube video on the podcast on the channel, which you guys all co-sign unwittingly because it's on the channel you guys are on.
Peak vid, yes sir.
My guys. So basically, I think the Will of D and the X and Alabasta are kind of like modern day parallels, and the X and Alabasta was used as a secret code, right? It's on, and the reason I bring two together is because Lily's letter brings up fly the flag that heralds the world's eventual dawn, and the big reveal of her letter is that she's a member of the D clan, the Nefeltari people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of indicates that the Nefeltaris, despite being like they're not the civilians of the ancient kingdom, but they're still members of the D clan, right? So the D clan isn't like a blood thing, because the Nefeltar family was ruling for a long time, right?
Yes.
So I think the D clan, basically, is that it's probably, or the will of D and the D initial is a secret code, and it probably represents the lineage of people who were allies of Joy Boy, like the Minx Kozuki's. Maybe some of them don't exactly have it, but Joy Boy's allies and the people on his, specifically his pirate crew, because he's a legendary pirate. I think the D represents maybe the Davy pirates. It's gonna become a symbol, right? And I have a lot of other random things like when we saw Blackbeard for the first time in that chapter, we see his crew in that last panel when they all are together. Miss, I think I sent you the picture of when they show all the Blackbeard crew for the first time. In the sky above them is a half moon. It's like basically the moon in the shape of a D, and that's obviously Davy D's teach, right? Anyway, I think the Davy clan, to me, it just seems like what else could it be other than the D clan? Especially because the world government is scared of them. And the D clan, by the way, is not a secret to the celestial dragons. They tell them stories of like, don't be a bad kid, otherwise the D's gonna gobble you up, right? Rosinante, the D clan is enemy of the gods, right? Who's the biggest enemy of the gods and Emu than Joy Boy?
It's true.
This is true, but I guess for me personally, I have like a different way of looking at it. I think actually the D clan is actually just all remnants of whoever was a part of Joy Boy's crew, or who believed in Joy Boy, or
well, yeah, that's where I was going with that. I think I said it's pirate crew, right? Or well, I guess the difference
I thought you were saying because Davy jumped because
I'm taking it a step further. Yeah.
Joy Boy, were you saying like Joy Boy's, like, I think he was the captain of the pirate crew and it was his crew, and Davy Jones might have been like just a member, a part of that crew.
Well, I feel like the thing is there though, because we agree that the Will of D is Joy Boy's pirate crew, and I feel like they're like I guess unless Davy Jones is another separate big figure in the Void Century or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like it would just be strange for the Monkey D. Luffy Joy Boy connection to be like, and the Davy clan, the D clan, for it to be like, oh yeah, by the way, it's in Joy Boy's second command, Davy D. Jones. You know what I mean?
No. Well, I see what you're saying, but I feel like that's only if you like are looking at it from a certain framing. How, like, for me personally, I would think that, like, just like how you pointed out the X, on VV's the X they all, gave to each other to signify like, hey, we're always, going to be here for each other or whatever, and the D clan, the D within their middle initial or whatever is also, supposed to be reminiscent of that. I just think that there was a point where all of them just got separated, or they had to separate, or either because of certain technologies or whatever it may be that happened 800 years ago, that communication was better for them to put the D initial in their names for some reason or another. We don't know what that reason is. Like I said, technology apparently was better 800 years ago. So they might have had something, or they known something, or had something during those times to help, decodify across the world, like, hey, this is who I am, and we represent, Joy Boy and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, but
I think the hangup is that you just don't think Davy Jones is Joy Boy, which is fair.
No, I don't think Davy Jones is Joy Boy. I think Davy Jones is his own other character.
That's fair.
I think that, like,
his own entity. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's very fair. Anyone,
yeah.
anyone else agree with like that he's not Joy Boy, that he is Joy Boy? Any thoughts on that specific argument? Cali, Mister.
I think. Go ahead, Mister.
I was just gonna say I think Joy Boy, right? I think they're different. How to say, like, because we know, I think Nika was like the original, right? Like from the first World War,
Yeah.
we have Nika, and then the opposite, whoever that opposite is. We don't know if it's still Emu, or we do know it's definitely related to a big snake, right? So there's that, and then the second war, I do think that would be Joy Boy. But at first, I always thought it was like Joy Boy versus Davy Jones. But I don't know. I do see
Especially
the connections that Wahas you were saying that he could be Joy Boy. Like, but I don't believe it yet. I don't know.
That's fair.
But I could see it being a possibility. I'm just not 100% about it. Yeah.
and just to be clear, I also can't. Just to be clear, I can also see that too. Like if it was revealed that like Davy Jones and Joy Boy are one and the same, I wouldn't be too surprised about that because like you broke it down, why Huss. Like I think that's a good line of reasoning. I think that like you're definitely on the right track to something.
Yeah.
I just personally believe that they're two different entities. One
100%.
One main reason is because I think of portrayal and stuff like that. Like Joy Boy throughout all the different I won't say interactions, it's not like we ever interacted with him, but all the different mentions of him, he's supposed to be like, I feel like in my heart of hearts that he's supposed to be closer to that of like Luffy in terms of personality and stuff than he is of Rocks per se. Even though Rocks and Luffy arguably have similar personalities and stuff, but all members of the D Clan kind of do. You know what I mean? So, so for me personally, I just kind of think that like Davy Jones and Joy Boy are very similar people, and they even were on the same crew together. And Davy Jones might have been, I think you pointed out earlier, might have been like his second mate or something like that, or best friend or whatever from back then. And they had similar ideologies, similar beliefs and stuff, and maybe slightly different ways of how they go about it, about different things. But that's just me personally, what I think.
That's fair, man. Well, 100%. And I think the link is not like 100% concrete, so I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing about it being, like I said, for me, it is still kind of redundant if it's like Davy D Jones and Davy represents. It is a little redundant, but so I don't. That's why I don't fully subscribe to it yet, because like I feel like Oda could potentially come up with something better, but you know.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I feel like I do agree with some of the reason. I agree with some of the reasoning as to how Davy could be Joy Boy, but I do think that you could get a lot more narratively. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but I think you could get a lot more out of the story if they are two different entities. I think it'd be cool ways to connect it. But I think, yeah, especially with the agendas that, well, we don't necessarily know too much about Davy Jones, but the agendas that Rox is pushing, compared to, and Blackbeard, compared to people like Joy Boy and Luffy, there are similarities, but I think those differences, those little differences between the two are going to be what really defines, I don't want to say each side, because it's not like they're even on opposite sides necessarily. Like, they could just be two characters. They might have been.
They might have been to some degree.
Just you think so?
Like, yeah, like just to be clear, like they, for all I know, they or all any of us know, they could have been not just best friends. They could have been brothers. They could have legit been family members. But I think that, and that could be the blood relation as to like why D Clan members or D Clan members in general like act similar, but they end up having two different ideologies, because maybe some of them spawned more from, the Davy Jones side of things, and some came from the Joy Boy side of things. And, that's why you got like Roger and Luffy,
Kind of like a Hugo clan type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that could have been the reason, and maybe they were crewmates, whether they were brothers or not, sailing together. And even though they might have, they could have been the Zoro Sanji of bickering, but could have been like still close as hell. You know what I mean? And still have each other's backs. And but
I didn't see the vision.
Yeah, like I could definitely see that being the case, but that's just me. They could have been like bickering or close or any of it, like just any of that. But it's not too crazy to have bickering people with different viewpoints on the same crew. You know what I mean? If anything, not just from what we see with like Sanji and Zoro, but in general, you see like Rock's crew himself and other characters throughout One Piece. So
no, 100%, man. Yeah, Oda just has to give us more like Void Century stuff. For us to make it even like pick a side 100%. Anyway,
and also he's trying, what is always trying to cross his up, bro. So he's like, I'm gonna make you think one thing, but in actuality, it's another. Like,
yeah, it's definitely
like
true.
one lineage just trying to act like the other, but it's actually the false one or some shit like that.
I'm sure we get more Davy info throughout the God Valley flashback as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's the only other thing. That's true too. We're gonna get more Davy info through this flashback. Definitely.
I was just gonna bring up the last thing that I know about this that I remember about this chapter specifically to bring up is the dragon stuff. When we first see dragon, when if you want to scroll to that, Callie, on the like we see so this right page, middle panel to the left, this woman that we saw talking to Shanks' mom when we first saw the babies last chapter. She was oh, they're so cute or whatever. That little kid beside her, black hair, I think he kind of stands out a lot. And I want to say specifically, he looks like Moria to me. I think the mouth shape, his weird hair. And we know Moria is born in the West Blue. We also know that he's originally a Kozuki or something. And if the Davy clan, to me, I had the thought of Davy clan with D. We know that the Kozuki and the D clan seem to have been, they both wrote the poneglyphs together, right? If that is the case or whatever. I think it's interesting that Moria, if that is Moria, is here. Especially after we got that, like the last chapter, we got the cover story of Kozuki Moria. I think Oda did the same thing he did in the Egghead cover story, where like the cover stories matter in the chapters like coming up or around it. That's my little. I think it looks like him. That's my view.
I ain't gonna lie, you lost me there, but I respect it.
That's fair, man. That's fair. No, sometimes you gotta get lost to be found.
That's real. That's real. That's real.
Hey, no, I think you're definitely on to something, Wahus. I definitely agree with you on this one. I think that might be Moria, just because, like, the Kozuki clan.
The connection there.
Yeah, the connection. We're in West Blue, and like I brought up earlier, the 12, 13, specimens or whatever, quote unquote, special people. He definitely could be counted as that. Like, hey, look, we got the Kozuki clan here from reminisce of Kozuki Odin, that guy. That was. Oh wait, nah. Well, it would be further back. I guess it wasn't there yet, but it would still be because the Kozuki clan was relevant to the Void Century anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's kind of another thing that bolstered my thoughts on this being the same Davy clan that had to do with Joy Boy or whatever, right? Because to me, Joy Boy seems to have been the poneglyphs if he aligned with the Ancient Kingdom against the 20 Kings or whatever. But yeah, I feel like that kid is I feel like that kid stands out, Kelly. Do you agree with that?
I don't.
Different hair colors than his mom.
No, I don't agree at all. I think it's just a regular kid in a throwaway panel. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
Fair enough, man.
It'd be like that though. Hey, I'll eat my words if it ends up being true.
We just gotta wait on the narrator box to come in.
I'll just never bring this shit back up ever again, bro.
Literally never again, bro.
He's just gonna talk about it.
He's just fucking shouting out Callie. He's like, "Yo, Callie, White House is right, bro." Like,
Yeah, I gotta hold that.
On Twitter, imagine like, "Yo, try it, sit down, bros." Like, that'd be funny.
Not Oda personally creates a Twitter account just to say like, "Hey, let's try
tweets in English."
Like, yeah, why is that boy right? That boy right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I guess that's about it. Right? Any last questions, comments, concerns?
Just one other thing. When it comes to Teach, I gotta say, man, like, you're nothing like your father. Like,
yeah, bro said one last thing and just gave Teach the craziest straight. Bro wasn't even in the chapter, bro. That's OD.
Like,
no, he was. No, I lied. He was at the end.
Yeah, no, he is at the end.
He was. Yeah. Gotta hold that.
You're nothing like your father.
Hey,
and it's crazy too.
Whitebeard tried to tell him, man. You're not him, man. Try to tell him.
And you probably know everything or most things from being told by your mom or somebody, but like, you're still attacking Shanks. You still attack Shanks, and you know that's a fellow Davy. Crazy, like it's insane.
Oh,
like
it actually reminds me that the Herald Rocks thing is like the biggest parallel of the Roger Whitebeard when Whitebeard's fighting Blackbeard at the end of Marineford, and he thinks about the talk he has with Roger, where Roger's like, where he's like, "Yo, what's the thing with that D name? Because I have someone in my crew that has that." And Roger's like, "Yo, I'll tell you." And then he looks, and then we don't really hear obviously what he says, but Whitebeard comes out of that little flashback. He looks at Teach in front of him. He says, "You're not the man Roger's waiting for," which I thought was super interesting, because like this whole D clan, the whole Davy Jones thing, we're talking about the Will of D. Like, I feel like it's like, wow, he learned what D meant right there, and he's like, "Bro, Teach, you are not it, bro." Despite such huge ties to it, and also to like another comparison is like the Whitebeard Shanks sake, and then Shanks is like, "I have a brew from my hometown, my nigga, in the West Blue." What the?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's
Hey,
true.
well, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point.
Like chat said, fraud son for real. Like,
fraud son. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I still got stocks in the boy, man. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga about to make some moves.
Turn up, bro.
That boy is gonna turn the fuck up, bro. When it's time, man.
I'm still cashing in that, like, you know what? Rox was such a compelling character. I want him to come back into the main story and just like, you know, take over through Teach's body or something. Like,
yeah, we've had this combo before. It's definitely, you gotta see what happens. All right, any last questions, comments, concerns?
Not damn good.
Nope. I think that's everything.
You should go. Yo, speaking now, forever hold your peace. You know, like 2 hours later, them thoughts be coming up. You'd be like, damn, I should have said this shit.
I think like the last panel where we see Dragon is like the first time we see him and Luffy look alike. He looks like like Snake Man Luffy a little bit. Because every time I see Dragon, I'm like, that's not his daddy, bro. That's not they lying. That's not Luffy's daddy. They don't look anything alike.
Luffy even remarks that in the beginning of Whole Cake. He's like, I don't look like this nigga.
You know, so
yeah, but I agree. Definitely
that's the only thing.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it for the pod today. Appreciate everybody that hung out with us in chat. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are checking out our episodes live every Sunday. Twitch.tv/Callie_Mac or YouTube at Straw Hat Sit Down. Every Sunday at 12 p.m. Come kick it with us. Feel me? Big shout outs to everybody watching this after the fact on YouTube, Apple Pod, Spotify Pod, etc. We appreciate you guys as well. Make sure you guys follow us on all our socials at Straw Hat Sit Down on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. You look for us, you will find us. Are we on break this week?
No
break.
Wow.
Nope.
Wow. It's this is a chapter I would have expected to go into a break. I can't lie.
I told you this was the setup. I'm telling you, next chapter it might blow this one out the water.
Yeah, next chapter might be some shit. I ain't gonna lie. We're gonna have to see. But we will be live next Sunday for another chapter review, so make sure you guys tap in for that. But that's gonna be it for us for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, you guys, take it easy, be safe, be healthy. We appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Nice.
Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Straw hat, sit down, crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin' every time an episode is dropping. We see D3 in the corner, Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut, always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's Huss, last but not least. If you ask me, then Cali, mad at Captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one